Wake up with the most watched news in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. 5 News.
6 o'clock as you start off this day. It is the news many were expecting. Legendary Penn State coach Joe Paterno without a job this morning. Find out how he's involved in the scandal at the university. Plus a new aquatic center in the works in a local city. Find out where it will be built and who is paying for it. All this as you start off this November 10th morning, a cold one to boot. Good to see you here. I'm Ashley Beck.
And I'm Jason Adams. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday morning, what we sometimes call Friday Eve, to make it sound a little bit better than Thursday. Almost to Friday and almost to the weekend.
Weekend right around the corner.
That's
and
right.
Even though it is very cold right now, the weekend is looking good. You'll tell us more about that in the forecast. But
Yep.
in the meantime, bundle up as you start off this day.
She was making fun of me earlier because I was talking about I get up at 2:30 to come and work, and I typically leave my covers right around my throat. And then as soon as I started to pull them down just a little bit to get out of bed, nope, they were back up. It was too cold. The apartment temperature dropped to like 70 degrees last night. That's kind of chilly for me. So I'm sure your house heater may have kicked on overnight. You'll need the car heater on for sure taking the kids to school or you heading to work. We're talking about a chilly start to the day. Clear skies, light winds. That all equates to optimal ingredients to give us the cooling temperatures. So here's where we're currently sitting at 10 degrees colder now in Fayetteville than yesterday after that big 15 to 20 degree drop that we saw the day before. That's also the case in Fort Smith. Look at Clarksville, 16 degrees colder than 24 hours ago. We are at 25 bone-chilling degrees here in Gravette. 30 in Bentonville, 30 in Springdale. Look at our temperature in Fayetteville at 28 degrees, 30 in Siloam Springs. Rogers is holding tough. We've been stuck at 33 all morning. I don't think you guys are complaining here in Rogers, but we are just above the freezing mark here. 31 in Boonville. That is the first freeze in Boonville. Salisal was 32 last half hour. Our first freeze, the same with Russellville at 32 degrees. Fort Smith down to 36 and 34 in Poto. The coldest temperature so far this season in Fort Smith, Ashley, 35. Haven't hit freezing yet. We'll see if we do it within the next couple of hours.
All right. Well, we are going to keep our eyes on that. In the meantime, you get some coffee and try to warm yourself and perk yourself up.
Definitely.
Meet you back over there at the bus stop. Legendary Penn State coach Joe Paterno without a job this morning. Penn State's Board of Trustees fired the university's head football coach and president, Graham Spanier, in the wake of a sex abuse scandal involving former assistant coach Jerry Sandusky. Sandusky is accused of sexually abusing 8 boys from 1994 to 2009. He is out on a $100,000 bail this morning. Some Penn State fans who took to the streets after learning the legendary coach was fired kind of get out of control. At a late-night news conference, Penn State's Board of Trustees announced they were firing Paterno and the university's president.
These decisions were made after careful deliberations and in the best interests of the university as a whole.
Some say the college leadership should have done more after Paterno learned of an alleged incident in 2002. The board appointed Ron Erickson, the school's executive vice president and provost, as interim president. Defense coordinator Tom Bradley is the interim head coach. And new this morning out of Springdale, police arrest a 26-year-old man for allegedly possessing child porn. Darling Mejia Molina was arrested Wednesday at his home. Authorities say they found child porn videos at the suspect's house. He eventually admitted to downloading and distributing the files for several years. Opening statements are scheduled for this morning in a Benton County murder trial. Michael Winters and Nicholas Johansson are accused of killing Christina and Louise Bishop, a mother and daughter. The women went missing in 2009. Their bodies found last year. Winters will be tried first. Johansson's trial scheduled for January. Foreclosures in the U.S. at a 7-month high last month, and the number of homes entering into foreclosure in October was 10% more than we saw in September. Foreclosure activity slowed a year ago after problems surfaced with the way many lenders were handling foreclosure documentation, namely shoddy mortgage paperwork. Republican presidential hopefuls squared off last night at a debate in Michigan. While Herman Cain's sexual harassment scandal did come up, the candidates focused much of their attention on the economy and President Obama's policies. They will meet again Saturday for another debate, this time in South Carolina, broadcast on CBS. And whether it was a slip of the tongue or a slip of the mind, Governor Rick Perry had an awkward moment during the debate last night. The GOP candidate failed to recall the third agency he planned to cut from the budget if elected as president.
But you can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
Yeah.
I would do away with the education, the commerce, and let's see, I can't. The third one I can't. Sorry. Oops.
And so with that, he moved on. But later, while answering another question, the governor said, oh, the third agency, the Energy Department. It is 6:05. Let's head off to the bus stop as we get those kids ready for school. And don't forget all the heavy winter attire this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. You need it this morning as we've got temperatures well below freezing. We were talking about where they were at the top of the show. Some spots even colder than what our forecast was saying. 28 to 34 here in northwest Arkansas with 25 in Gravette. And we're looking at some sub-freezing temperatures now into the River Valley, 31 in Boonville and 34 to 36 for the rest of us across the area. Here's what we're shaping up to be this afternoon. Up to 55 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Those winds from yesterday have calmed down, so it'll be a bit more enjoyable out there at 55, 60 degrees here into the River Valley under mostly sunny skies as well after starting out very chilly with some frost and freezing conditions even as far south as the Ouachitas this morning. Ashley.
All right, a cold start to this day, but a better afternoon to come. Right now, let's check in with Mitch as we talk about what's going on throughout the area. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Ashley. Clarksville voters have approved a 1% sales tax. With it comes a brand new aquatic center. On Tuesday, 62% of voters said yes to a $17.4 million bond program in the area and a 1% sales tax to pay for it. The tax will fund new police and fire stations and an $11.4 million aquatic center. After the project's debt is paid off, 75% of the tax will disappear. The other 25% will remain for operational costs. Mayor Billy Helms expects groundbreaking on the projects to begin in April of next year. Pecola, Oklahoma has a new police chief. Dale Fout was fired Tuesday by the city council. Les Morton was named interim chief. Fout was named Pecola's chief of police back in 2007. Before taking the Pecola job, Fout was a Cherokee Nation police officer. Well, the city of Springdale has the largest Marshallese population outside of the Marshall Islands. Now, the state is opening a new health care clinic dedicated to serving them. Staff members at the new outreach clinic are fluent in Marshallese, and many say it'll make more in the community feel more comfortable getting health care. Starting Monday, the clinic will open from 9 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening. Even though this clinic is focused on the Marshallese, it is open to everyone. It's located in the Jones Center's Community Clinic building. And retired General Wesley Clark will speak tonight in Fayetteville as part of the University of Arkansas Veterans Week celebration. The former commander of NATO and former presidential candidate will speak tonight at 7 o'clock at the Walton Arts Center in Fayetteville. Tickets are free. You can pick them up at the Walton Center box office. Also, General Clark, you may not know this, he was born in Chicago but grew up in Arkansas in Little Rock and graduated from Hall High School. So certainly a man who made a huge impact on the military scene, and nice to see him coming back home to Arkansas today. Right now, we'll send it back to you guys.
And thanks, Mitch. We are talking about cold temperatures out there, Ashley. High pressure building in. That does mean a little bit of a warm up coming up this afternoon. We'll talk about where these afternoon temps go coming up.
Plus, Regis Philbin already announced his retirement from his talk show, but there will still be a familiar face. Find out what is not changing about things coming up. And Green Bay Packer fans have the chance to call themselves team stockholders. Find out why the team is selling stock coming up. And happy moments for Joplin residents devastated by a tornado. Find out where they have a reason to celebrate. All this on a Thursday morning.
You're watching 5 News, the area's most watched local news team, with Ashley Beck, Mitch Roberts, and meteorologist Jason Adams. Serving the region for more than 58 years, this is 5 News.